Hare Krishna, welcome all the students. So today we are going to discuss from the fifth chapter, divine consciousness, how a person is engaged in many activities, but still he is not entangled because his consciousness is very divine. So we'll start with prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री कृष्ण बलराम जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा में निताय गौरांग शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। So yesterday we had discussed about Arjuna's confusion and doubt, and through the purports of Srila Prabhupada, we could understand that how Arjuna got a doubt, because Arjuna thought that inaction means no activity. But that is not the fact. Inaction means you perform the activity, but that activity will not have any reaction. And that such activities are called bhakti, means when we perform in devotional consciousness, worship to Krishna, performing activity for Krishna, and offering the results to Krishna, such activities are not having any reaction. So therefore, such activities are called inaction. And that was the doubt of Arjuna. He thought inaction means inertia, no need to perform any duties. So now in continuation, we'll discuss. I'll share the screen here. So then Krishna continued saying that what is sannyas? Sannyas means you renounce the activity, the result of the activity, that is actually sannyas. Renunciation is complete when it is in the knowledge that everything in existence belongs to the Lord, and that no one should claim proprietorship over anything. One should understand that factually nothing belongs to anyone. Then where is the question of renunciation? So Prabhupada in this regard very nicely he explains by giving one story. But what happens, one person in front of Bank of America, he went and said, all the money of Bank of America I give back to America, Bank of America. So Prabhupada, while saying, he started laughing. This foolish person, he was thinking that the money which are there in the Bank of America is his money, and now he's saying that now I give all the money to Bank of America. Arey pagal, when it was yours, no time that money was yours, because you are a fool, madman, so you are thinking like that. In the same way, nothing belongs to us. What belongs to you? Please tell. This head, this tail, your memory, your intelligence, your beauty. No, nothing belongs to you. Your intelligence also doesn't belong to you. Today you are intelligent, tomorrow you may become duffer number one. Who knows? There are many people. Destiny acts in such a way. Karma game is very, very, very dangerous. It is not so easy. Many times, rich person becomes so poor that he is not able to get a food, one meal in a day. Like Vijaypat Singhania, you see, the Raymond's company, the owner of Raymond's company, Vijaypat Singhania, he worked hard and established such a brand company. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was also Sachin Tendulkar. These were the celebrities who were doing advertisement for this Raymond. But when this Vijaypat Singhania, he gave the property to his son Gautam Singhania, his son kicked him out of the house only. So Vijayapal Singhania became completely poverty stricken. He was not having place to live even. He came on the road. Then he was living in rented place. That also he was not able to afford that. That was the situation. Just see, one time he was a millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire, but another time, just see the destiny. This is not because of his son. This is his own destiny. Son and father's son, who can do anything to you? It's all the destiny game. We have to understand. We should not blame anyone. Anybody can become the just instrument in your life to become to give you the suffering and pain. But actually, this is because of our destiny we suffer. Because of our destiny we are going through tough time, not because of anybody else. So there was one person in Bangalore who was well wisher of our temple, in ISKCON Bangalore temple. Later became well wisher. Earlier when he was young, so he passed out from MIT and he got married with a girl who was also from Oxford, not Oxford, sorry, from Harvard University in America itself. Then both got married and lived their lives very nicely, luxuriously in America and did well. But when they retired, when the old age came, then they came back. They came back to India, started living in Bangalore, supported our temple also very nicely. But later, when they became actually very old, they were not able to even know their own identity. To introduce them, they require somebody else to introduce. अच्छा ये भाई MIT से पढ़ के आए, ये Harvard से पढ़ के आए हैं. See, a person who is studied from MIT, he requires somebody else to introduce him because he is now mad. He cannot remember his own identity. Therefore, he requires somebody else to introduce him. And similar was the situation with his wife. Both were mentally disordered. So this destiny game is very, very, very difficult. Kim karma kima karmeti kaviyo apiyatra mohita. Even great scholars are bewildered when what karma will come and hit us. You are going, and one student last year, and when we were having Bliss 2 program last year, one student from ISM Dhanbad, his father, every day he will do morning walk. This time also he was doing morning walk in the morning. Suddenly one vehicle came from behind and from behind hit him and he fell down. He fell down. It was just he thought that normal some problem has come, but then he was admitted. So when he was taken to ICU, तो डॉक्टर ने बोला क्रिटिकल केस है ये तो बहुत ही, क्योंकि उनको डायबिटीज भी हुआ था. फिर उनका ट्रीटमेंट होने लग गया, एवरीथिंग स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग, सही भी हुए, बट he could not recover himself because of diabetes and all, and finally he died. That person died, the student father of that student. So just see, anything can happen. Karma is very, very dangerous thing. When which karma will hit, we don't know. Therefore, nothing belongs to us. What belongs to us? Nothing. So renunciation means you offer your consciousness, your mind to the Lord. That is renunciation. Means nothing belongs to you anyway. So just out of love, you just express that, my Lord, nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to you. This is only renunciation. One who knows that everything is Krishna's property is always situated in renunciation. See, this is renunciation. जो जानता है कि सब भगवान का है and he doesn't claim proprietorship falsely, he is renunciant. Renunciation does not mean कि living in very poverty-stricken condition, deliberately, purposefully renouncing everything and living in poverty-stricken condition and eating very humbly like a poor man. No, even if you are living in luxurious building apartment, but your consciousness, if it is surcharged with the understanding that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna, and you are fully convinced, not for the sake of saying, but to understand, realize also, this is renunciation. Belongs to Krishna, everything should be employed in the service of Krishna. This perfect form of action in Krishna consciousness is far better than any amount of artificial renunciation by a sannyasi of Mayadi school. Artificially renounce karna, sabko chhod dena, I don't use anything. No, that is not renunciation. You use everything for the service of the Lord. Just like Prabhupada, Prabhupada was moving through plane. Prabhupada was, moving through big Rolls Royce car. That time it was the costliest car. But Prabhupada was moving from that car because that car Prabhupada was using for the service of Krishna. So this is renunciation. So that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not, it's not a denial moment. We don't deny anything. We accept everything. It's not fanatic moment. Fanatically saying no, this is Maya, that is Maya, this will entangle me, that will entangle me. No, that it's all about consciousness. How is your consciousness? If your consciousness is very high, you use that money, vehicles, luxury, all the amenities for the service of Krishna. Simple. This is renunciation. So then Krishna says, one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, liberated from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty armed Arjuna. So duality se bahar aana, hate and desire. Don't hate, don't desire also. Desire to enjoy and don't hate also the result of the activity. Be free from dualities. So that's how, if you have this consciousness, then you will overcome the material bondage. Then these are all things, simple things. One who knows that, okay, this is unless one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, mere renunciation of activities cannot make one happy. The sages purified by works of devotion achieve the supreme without delay. So यहाँ पर ये line important है. Unless one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, mere renunciation of activities cannot make one happy. So you can see many so-called sannyasis in living in Himalaya. You will find many times videos on YouTube. One person is living in Himalaya in such a chilly place, which is very cold, 0 degree, or for that matter, even negative temperature also, -10, -20 degree temperature. One sadhu is living over there, performing tapasya, austerity. That is not so important. The important is, that is all fake renunciation. You are trying to pose yourself as great renunciant. Renunciation is Prabhupada what he has shown. Prabhupada ने सब कुछ यूज करते हुए सिटी में रहा. Prabhupada सिटी में रहे. Prabhupada वर्ल्ड का सबसे महंगा सिटी मैनहट्टन, वहां पर बहुत बड़ा मंदिर बनाया और उसके 7th फ्लोर पे रहते थे. Prabhupada was using everything, but the main factor is you preach the glories of Krishna, you engage yourself in devotional service. That is important and that will make you also happy. Otherwise क्या होगा, ज्यादा दिन आपका चलेगा नहीं, भाग के आ जाओगे, then you will indulge into sense gratification. You will indulge into some materialistic activity like intoxication, illicit affairs, gambling, all those things, because you are not enjoying. No, ultimately anandamayo abhyasat, that is the nature of the every living entity. We always want happiness, enjoyment. That is the key principle in our life. Anand mayo abhyasat, that's what we always want. So तपस्या करने से, हिमालय में रहने से, ठंड में कुछ बिना पहने रहने से काम नहीं चलने वाला. आप दिखा सकते हैं आप बहुत बड़े तपस्वी हैं, yes, but what is the use of such tapasya if you didn't use that body for the service of Krishna? कृष्णा ने आपको बॉडी दिया, कृष्णा ने आपको इंटेलिजेंस दिया, सब कुछ दिया, तो उसको आप कृष्णा के लिए यूज करो ना. दैट इज द बेस्ट. अब आप सब कुछ रिनाउंस करके वहां पर ऐसे मौन धारण करके मौनी बाबा बन गए, विल नॉट स्पीक एनीथिंग. देयर आर सो मेनी बाबा आल्सो, दे विल नॉट स्पीक एनीथिंग. क्यों? मौनी बाबा हो गए. उन्होंने व्रत ले रखा, पिछले 10 साल से कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. अरे व्हाट इज यूजलेस दिस इज. भगवान ने आपको पावर ऑफ स्पीच दिया है, बोलिए आप ना. दैट इज, इट इज सेड दैट डिवोटी इज मौनी. वन ऑफ द क्वालिटीज, 26 क्वालिटीज ऑफ अ डिवोटी, उसमें से एक क्वालिटी होता है डिवोटी इज मौनी. मौनी मीन्स ही विल नॉट स्पीक. अब इसको लोगों ने लिटरल सेंस में ले लिया कि मौनी मीन्स पट्टी बांध लेंगे, जैसे जैन मुनि में भी हो ना, जैनियों में भी वो बोलते नहीं है. ये करेक्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है. स्पिरिचुअलिटी ये सब नहीं है. स्पिरिचुअलिटी का आपने इसका मतलब एसेंस समझा नहीं. स्पिरिचुअलिटी क्या होती है? Spirituality means, here Krishna is explaining, Prabhupada is writing the purport that because everything belongs to Krishna, so you realize that this belongs to Krishna, so you use that for the service of Krishna. अब आपको भगवान ने मुंह दिया है, जबान दिया, तो आप बोलो, भगवद गीता का प्रचार करो, कीर्तन कीर्तन करो, कृष्ण कथा करो. अभी जन्माष्टमी आ रहा है, लोगों को कृष्ण के बारे में बताओ, कृष्ण का जन्म कब हुआ, क्यों जन्म लिए भगवान, कितनी सारी लीलाएं की, ये सब बोलो आप. दिस इज कॉल्ड मौनी. मौनी मीन्स he will speak only about Krishna and nothing else, no material talk. दिस इज कॉल्ड मौनी. आर्टिफिशियल नहीं होना हमें. अदरवाइज आज के टाइम पे लोग ना आर्टिफिशियली बहुत शो ऑफ करते हैं जस्ट टू अट्रैक्ट द पीपल, बिकॉज पीपल इजिली गेट अट्रैक्टेड बाय सच थिंग. अरे वो तो कुछ खाता नहीं है, कुछ पीता नहीं है, बभूत लगा के रहता, ठंड में भी अकेले कुछ नहीं करता, तो लोग सोचते हैं बड़ा पहुंचा हुआ योगी है, सन्यासी है, चलो उसे थोड़ा ब्लेसिंग्स लेकर आते हैं, मटेरियल ब्लेसिंग्स लेकर आते हैं. तो ये चीप एडोरेशन एक्चुअली में लाइफ का पर्पज नहीं है. लाइफ इज भक्ति, समथिंग एल्स. Okay, next. Unfortunately, people are caught into this, but fortunately, we are not entangled into such kind of stuff. We are saved and we are at right place, understanding right knowledge, where nothing is fanatical, everything is very practical. One who works in devotion, who is pure soul, one who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone. Here, Krishna is giving the formula how to become dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to you. कैसे? When you work in devotion, you are a pure soul, you don't have any bad qualities, no lust, no greed, no enviousness, you have perfect control over your mind, then everybody will like you and you will also like everyone. So Prabhupada writes here, one who is on the path of liberation by Krishna consciousness is very dear to every living being, and every living being is dear to him. This is due to his Krishna consciousness. Such a person cannot think of any living being as separate from Krishna, just as the leaves and branches of a tree are not separate from the tree. He knows very well that by pouring water on the root of the tree, the water will be distributed to all the leaves and branches, or by supplying food to the stomach, the energy is automatically distributed throughout the body. Because one who works in Krishna consciousness is servant to all, he is very dear to everyone. तो जो कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप करता है, सो ही इनकलकेट्स द क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विटरशिप. He understands that I belong to Krishna, I am servant of Krishna, so I have to cultivate the quality of servitorship. So the moment you have developed this quality of servitorship, you'll automatically become dear to everyone, because you are not bossing over anybody, you are not having any enviousness, you don't have any ill feeling towards anybody. So naturally people will like you. That's why you see the devotees don't have anything, they are always in the mood of serving everyone, service attitude. Anybody comes to the temple, they will always ready to serve anybody and everybody. So therefore people don't feel any grudge or any hatred or any enviousness towards the devotees. They love devotees, and devotees also care others. So this is the formula to become dear to everyone, and everybody will be dear to you by following Krishna consciousness. But you see today in the world what is happening? Hindu Muslim fight, people are killing everyone. One Hindu, if he shares a post of Nupur Sharma, then he will get a threat, and who knows that he will be killed also. God only knows whether he will be saved or not. What a mistaken understanding is going on in the people's mind. Killing and chopping the head and barbarian like activities, very 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 dangerous. But here you see on the other contrast में आप यहाँ देखो भगवद गीता में प्योर है आप, you are in devotional attitude, you are pure soul, no enviousness, no jealousy, because you are on the soul platform. You don't see the body, you don't see a Hindu or Muslim, you see a soul, everyone. So naturally you will love everyone, because soul means Krishna is Ansa. You all are, the moment you see everybody is soul, then you will see the part and parcel of Krishna, then you will naturally love everyone. But that understanding is not there. Incorrect understanding, very dangerous, hostile, destructive understanding. Now it has pervaded the society, the people's consciousness. Therefore, people are killing. They are into bodily consciousness. ये तो जानवर ऐसे एक्ट करते हैं, जानवर बॉडीली कॉन्शियस में होते हैं. Human beings are supposed to be in soul platform, not the bodily platform. All these sufferings are happening, all these fights, whatever we are seeing, this is all because of bodily concept. All the bad things, rape cases, loot part, ये सब जो भी हो रहा है, rape क्यों हो रहा है? Because one person is thinking I'm a male, other is female, so let me rape her. What is this? So everything, all the problems in the world is just because of bodily concept of life. But you just raise your consciousness to the soul platform, you will see everybody as soul. You will see everybody as servant of Krishna. No problem will be there in the world. That will be perfect society, perfectly situated, peaceful. That's how we can achieve peace and harmony in the society. Otherwise, there is no possible. As long as we are there in the bodily platform, it is like a dog. It's like you see one dog, if it goes to the street of another dog, so another dog will start barking. Oh, why you have come to my society? What, this is my street. I am the king of my street. How can you come to my street? So this is dog mentality, means animal mentality. So today also you see human beings, men, Hindu, Muslim, they are fighting. Dog is mentality. What is this? Just like dog barking, dog is barking, killing, attacking. Similarly, we are also doing. So what is the difference? What makes the difference between you and the dog? If you also act in such a way. So that means this is not the right understanding. You are supposed to act in a human way. You are supposed to act higher than the animals. So where you are acting, nowhere you are also doing same activity like animals. But you claim yourself as human being. What kind of human being you are? That means somewhere there is problem in your understanding. So correct your understanding, purify your consciousness, purify your mind. Anyway, so therefore Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says, the spiritual master Prabhupada, there is no scarcity in the world. Only scarcity in the world is Krishna consciousness. And there is no scarcity in anyone's life, individually or collectively, or socially or nationally or internationally. There is no scarcity. Only scarcity is of Krishna consciousness. You make everyone Krishna consciousness, whole world will be happy. There will be no chaos, there will be no confusion, there will be no fight, nothing of a sort. Just if you preach everyone, make everyone Krishna consciousness. So this is our duty and responsibility. If we want a peaceful society, so we must preach. We should help to make people Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there is no possibility. Then this verse very nicely Krishna explains that a person who is in divine consciousness, in Krishna consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their object and that he is aloof from them. ये understanding एक Krishna conscious person का होता है. Prabhupada writes, a person in Krishna consciousness, pure in his existence, and consequently has nothing to do with any work which depends upon 5 immediate and remote cause. So a person who is performing Krishna consciousness, he knows that even though he's performing all the activity, but he is not attached, he's aloof. All his external senses are engaged in the activities, but his consciousness is absorbed in Krishna. Getting the point? Your consciousness is absorbed in Krishna, you are thinking of Krishna, and externally you are doing everything, all your activities. So you are not entangled. Because you know, I am aloof, you are not this body. Senses are engaged. Here you see, he always knows that only the senses are engaged with their object. आंख का ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है? देखना, सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट, किसी वस्तु को देखना, अच्छी एक ब्यूटीफुल फॉर्म को देखना. सो eyes are engaged in the seeing the form. So the sense is engaged. All the senses are engaged with its object, not the soul. Soul is absorbed in Krishna. So that this understanding is very high understanding. Yes, of course, this is not so easy to perform, or this is not so easy to come to this platform. But if we keep on chanting Hare Krishna, the very simple process Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, if we keep on chanting, then one day we'll be purified, our consciousness will be purified, and we'll get a divine consciousness, and we'll also act in this consciousness, divine consciousness. Then Krishna says, one who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme God, is not affected by sinful action as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. This is perfect example which Prabhupada gives. If you have seen the lotus flower, lotus is sprouting in the mud, in the water. But you see the flower is so beautiful, so beautiful. The most beautiful flower is lotus flower. But where does it grow? It grows into the mud. See, in the mud, what a beautiful object is coming out. So this is the quality of lotus. Means lotus is untouched, even though lotus is there in the water, muddy water, but lotus flower is untouched. It is there, but not there, both. This is called simultaneous one and difference. संस्कृत में बोलते हैं अचिंत्य भेदा भेद तत्व. ये एक तत्व है, ये ट्रुथ है जो कि है भी नहीं भी है. जैसे लोटस फ्लावर, इट इज देयर इन द मड, बट इट इज नॉट देयर इन द मड. हाउ it is there in the mud? Yes, physically it is there, but it is not there in the mud. How? Because it is not touched, it is not contaminated by the mud, it is maintaining its purity. In the same way, even though we are here in this material world performing the activity, but we are not infected by the reaction of the activity. This is the art we have to learn from the lotus flower. Just see, without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme, then will not be affected by sinful action. अगर हमने ये किया तो will become like lotus. Attachment नहीं रखोगे आप, तो आप एक्टिविटी कर रहे हो, but you are not disturbed, you are not contaminated. So आप देखो, many times it is coming that you perform your duty without attachment. So जैसे attachment को छोड़ना कितना important है ना. Otherwise it is like you are rowing the boat with your anchor down. आपकी नाव आगे जाएगी नहीं जाएगी, आपकी नाव वहीं की वहीं सर्कल में मूव करती रहेगी. अटैचमेंट एंकर जैसा है, हमें आगे स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में नहीं बढ़ने देगा, इसलिए अटैचमेंट को हमेशा मना किया गया. द योगीज, फिर से देखो, योगीज abandoning attachment act with body, mind, intelligence and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. So सारे senses से तो act करेंगे, लेकिन abandoning attachment. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me, whereas a person who is not in union with divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. तो यहाँ कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं कि युक्त कर्म फलम त्यक्त्वा शांतिम आपनोति नैष्टिकीम अयुक्त काम कारेण फले सत्तो निबध्यते. जो अपनी एक्टिविटी को मेरे को ऑफर करता है, रिजल्ट्स of all activities offers to me, he attains unadulterated peace. Otherwise you will be entangled. So that is the secret here Krishna has revealed, that we should, like, you should act like lotus flower, we should be like lotus flower, even though we have to perform the activity, but we should not be attached from the activity. Abandoning all the attachment, offering the result to Krishna, you can achieve the unadulterated peace and happiness. And even though your senses are engaged with sense object, but you are not affected by that. So these are the arts which we have to learn. So these are the milestones in spiritual life which we have to achieve. Spiritual life is not monotonous life where nothing is there to achieve. In college, in our material education, we have milestones. 10th pass करना है, 12th pass करना है, IIT में जाना है, अच्छा पैकेज ले आना है, अच्छी शादी करनी है. Milestones we have. So we are always motivated, but in spiritual life we don't get any motivation because we think that spiritual life is monotonous. But no, in spiritual life also these are the milestones which we have to achieve. Sense को control करना एक milestone है, consciousness purify करना milestone है, attachment छोड़ना milestone है. We all have to practice these qualities. Detachment develop karna, Krishna se attachment develop karna, and mind ko control karna, senses ko purify karna. These are the milestones which we have to achieve and go forward, है ना? So milestones अगर mind में रखेंगे, then it will become very interesting journey. Krishna consciousness journey will be very interesting if we have this milestones in our life. Okay, so with this we'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.